Hey guys, Ray from loveyourrv.com. Another little project on the old Cougar today. I'm going to pull out this slide window and reseal around it. Now with the Cougar being 10 years old, a lot of the sealants are starting to dry out. So I'm kind of getting a little concerned on the windows. And this one would be probably the worst case due to it gets a lot of water coming off the slide. So it'd be most likely to have a leak problem. When it rains, there's no gutter on the slide, so it kind of just pours off the top and runs down this sidewall. In the past, I have actually had a problem with a little bit of flooring going bad and rotting out right in that corner, because in their wisdom, the company never really put a drip edge on there. They just kind of had some plastic crap covering plywood, and over time, water had seeped in there and caused a leak. And then when I redid the roofing, I took this flashing off the corner, and there was a little bit of water intrusion right on that corner bead, so kind of fixed that up. It didn't really cause any major structural problems. So while I was doing that, I thought maybe I'll pop this window out, have a look, and reseal it with I think they use butyl tape. Anyway, I'm going to go inside and pull the valance and the lines off. And inside, it's kind of sandwiched affair. There's a bunch of screws that go around that frame. So pull the inner frame off, and then I think the window should just pop out this end, and then we can kind of have a look at the state of the sealant and see if we've had any water intrusion over the years. So the first thing we're going to do is get that shade off there and the valance. They're just held in place by some wood screws, square head, Robertson. So I'll find those and pull those off. There we go. I think I can get away with just laying that shade down like that. Leave the anchor points in there. It'll make it easier for me to put the shade back. I won't have to readjust it. If you ever wonder how to restring these shades, I've done a couple videos on it, and I'll link back to them in the description or the blog post for you. Okay, it looks like to take this window off. There's a bunch of screws to take out all around here. They look like they're square head as well, number 2, what we call Robertson in Canada. And we take the frame out, and it looks like the 2 form a clamshell, hold the window in. So I'll start pulling all those screws out. Okay, kind of hard to see with the light here, but I'm able to unscrew that frame from the wall in here. So probably all that's holding the window now is actually the old butyl tape in place. Here's the frame, pretty lightweight aluminum. So we'll go outside and you should be able to pull that right out. It's pretty stuck on there, so I'll use my hive tool scraper to get underneath the frame and kind of pry it out. Got her. So that came out pretty easy. Here's the window. See the old butyl tape there. I'll clean that up in a bit. Let's go have a look and see if there's been any water intrusion. This is the bottom sill, and thankfully I don't see any signs. If I pull back that, all the insulation and the wood is nice and dry. Along here, a little bit of kind of maybe rust on the corner, but there's nothing back there. The wood's all in good shape. And then they use the aluminum to make a frame, and they have a plastic for the corner stapled to the aluminum. Almost looks like they have some sort of glue that they use. Glue it in place, I guess. Next, I'm gonna pick off all this old butyl tape. Comes off kind of like bubble gum. You can see how they put the screws just right into the window. I'm gonna have to get one screw that, when the heads popped off, probably when they were screwing the window in. Better get one of my little screw extraction pliers. They call them van pliers. These things are a handy tool around the RV because you're always getting screws with their heads rusted off and stuff. Helps you get them out. And same thing on the opening. I'm gonna have to get the butyl tape off of that. Use my handy dandy hive tool. Actually pleasantly surprised because this stuff is actually still pretty pliable and soft. I imagine if you had an RV and you're in a hot environment like say Southern California, Arizona, this stuff after 10 years would be brittle and cracked, but this one still in pretty good shape, so that means most of my windows are probably good too. Anyway, I think next, while I have this window out, I'm going to pressure wash it all. Easier to clean when it's out than in, that's for sure. This is actually a good time to test out and play around again with the Flomax portable power washer. I actually used this about a week ago to do Anne's boat. We pulled the covers off the boat and gave it a good pressure washing everywhere. And it was nice because right now there's water restrictions here, and where her boat is parked there's no water, so I was able to just take a 5-gallon bucket, fill it up with water, and use this thing. So I'm going to do that here, and it's also nice because this thing only puts out about 512 psi, so it won't rip the window apart, but it should give it a good clean. I'm going to fill its little suds bottle with some LA's Totally Awesome cleaner. Should get rid of all the grease and grime and whatever's on the window there. So, got it pretty cleaned up. Next, I'm going to use this butyl tape. Now, this is the Alpha Systems that Lippert has, and it's the same stuff I used for the flashing or when I did the slide roof. Pretty good stuff. This one got a bit squished up in shipping, so not quite as nice as it could be, but it'll be okay. Okay, so I got it pretty evenly gooped all around the frame. One tip is don't do this when it's too hot out, because this stuff will turn into like bubble gum on you. It'll be just a big sticky mess. So I'd say maybe 75 degrees or less. Don't do it too much in the hot sun. Anyway, time to put that window back in place. One important thing to mention, there's drain holes at the bottom of the window, so you want to make sure you don't put it upside down and get the drain holes at the top of the window. Wouldn't work so good. So now we'll go in and put the inside frame on and screw it together. Okay, screws all back in place. So I didn't tighten them right down, just put them up to snug. What I'm going to do is wait for that sun to come across there and really warm up the window frame, and at that point I'll take a hand screwdriver and tighten them right up, get a good bite on them. Let's go outside, see how she looks. Looking good, looking good. Well, that gives me a little bit of a peace of mind knowing how dry it was back there and how the sealant was actually still in pretty good shape, so makes me think most of the other windows are going to be pretty good too. This back one's going to be a big one to do. I'll need a few helpers for that if I decide to do it, but it does get a lot of heat here because we spend summers here and every day the sun comes over here. This is the kind of southwest sky and it sets over there, so this back window gets a lot of heat. That's why you see the shades on there. I don't know if you haven't followed me, you might not have seen these before. They're called Easy Snap window shades. You can see the snaps and the snaps on here. So they just snap in place and they block out a lot of the heat that comes into the rig when the sun gets really low. Anyway, that's it for now. Till next time, Ray from loveyourrv.com. My next project on the rig is going to be this corner bead on each side at the back wall here. Some of the sealant is kind of going on the corner back there, so I want to pull off this corner bead, and I've ordered some corner bead seal tape for that, so that'll be the next project pretty soon. Thanks for watching, folks. Cheers, everyone.